This week's episode is brought to you by Moving Out, a way to finally get your own space as a person. And yes, you may have to pay rent on it, but it's yours. Moving out is a way to finally grow and evolve as a human being. Moving out. Well, working too hard can give you a heart attack. You ought to know by now. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night, the only podcast whose host has a widow's peak that, quote, could rival Vegeta's with enough training. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
So, today we are doing yet another set review for you guys because Bushiro just decided to release 2 sets back to back.
No, what we're supposed to say is because we really like them.
Yeah, set reviews are great. It means we don't have to think.
Oh yeah, we don't have to try very hard. We can just read because everybody likes their stuff read to them. So today we're covering Extra Booster 7, the Heroic Evolution. So this
and then everyone gets to yell at us about how wrong we are afterwards.
Wrong about what? Like what cards are good? Or
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we get that shit wrong all the time. So
I mean, look how it turned out with the Bermuda set that just every card that's a VR is insane. And every common is really whatever.
Yeah, and then you just shove the VRs into the trial deck.
Yeah, and then you have a tier 0 deck probably.
Yep.
Easy.
Although we have a ban list coming next week, so maybe...
Can they hit the Gold Paladin starter in Premium, please? Thanks.
Kirf? Yeah, that's...
Yeah, screw that guy. Don't you just like losing the die roll and being like, oh, I don't get to play this game?
Yeah. Losing the die roll? Okay, I scoop. I mean, the... Like, Richard, the one person who cares enough about Gold Paladin to, like, it would be in his best interest to be like, no, this is fine, keep it. I love winning. But even he's like, yeah, they need to hit this, like, yesterday.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
The play pattern is just bad, right? Because there's not even a way to stop it. You can't even, like, deny them damage to say, no, actually, no. You're just like, this is going to happen.
Yeah, well, especially now with that Stride from Premium Collection where they can just, even if they go second, they can still Stride first.
Yeah, why not?
So now your only recourse is to win the die roll and damage deny them, which is like, dude, come on.
Play Gize and nothing but Gize.
Yeah. It's like a weird anti-meta pick. Alright, so Extra Booster 7, the Heroic Evolution, contains Kagura, Nova Grappler, and Link Joker, so we're each taking a clan. This is also the set that introduces the Gift 2 system. If you want to hear more about that, check out our episode on it, which is, I think, 2 to 3 episodes back at this point.
Yep.
So, yeah, so that's legal as of this set, so just keep that in mind. And to anybody who hasn't heard an episode like this before, how it works is we go from the high rarity stuff down through the double Rs and any commons or rares that interest us. Eventually, my head's going to explode from the amount of times I have to repeat that. Why don't we get this shit going? Kick us off, Root Beer.
Alright, Dragonic Overlord, the end. It's finally here.
The one with the guns.
It is a grade 3 Force Gift 13k. At Auto Vanguard, at the end of the battle it attacked, activate one of the effects below. However, you cannot activate the same effect for the same turn.
What? The fuck does that even mean?
I'm pretty sure what they're trying to say, but they didn't say it properly because the wiki is stupid, is you can only select these skills once per turn each.
Ah.
Why don't they just make this 2 skills that are both one? Never mind.
Because Bushiro likes to be really convoluted for no reason.
Alright, anyway, what is the skill?
If your hand has 4 or less cards, Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1, stand this unit and it gets Drive -1 until the end of turn. Okay. And then skill number 2 is if your soul has a card with Overlord in its card name, discard 3 cards from your hand, stand this unit, it gets power plus 10,000 and drive -1 until the end of turn.
So if you start attacking with 6 cards in your hand, and then you say, oh, I have an Overlord in my soul, or with 4 cards in my hand, right? So you twin drive, you go to 6, you discard down to 3.
Yeah.
And then you restate it, it gets power plus 10,000, and it has 1 drive now. Attack again. And then you can Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, restand it, and then it has 0 drive, you need to attack again.
Yes.
Huh.
That's very specific.
Huh. Well, it could be anything less than...
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you somehow manage to get the 2 cards by the end of your first ride, you could restand early.
And then restand the other way later. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if the opponent is like, if you're playing against Excel and they're adequately pressuring you, that seems plausible.
I like this card a lot.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like it especially with the gift too, where you can like, just you can give this thing multiple crits and just go ham.
13k with a crit, discard, restand. 23 with a crit, restand. 23 with a crit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not counting any rear guard attacks you happen to be going on.
Uh-huh.
Having going on. This is pretty awesome. Now, remember the original dope back in the day was when it hit, you counterblasted 2 and discarded a copy of itself for the restand, but you didn't lose any drive checks. How do you think this compares to the original?
So if I think, I don't know, this one is so cheap. I think is what makes it really nice. Like even if you don't use the alternate, the second ability, like even if you're just restanding once, this one is cheaper overall in cost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they're pretty comparable. Like even ignoring the fact that they have different power and different, and of course the force gift, right? Even if you give the old dope force gift plus power, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well, this doesn't have to hit, so having the Force 2 gift, I think, is the better option most of the time. So, now, it also seems like this is slower as a
little
card.
bit, yeah, because you need to do this. Like, this becomes, like, really good on second ride, but what I like about this card is it still does something on first ride.
Yeah, like, as long as you can get yourself to 2 cards when it attacks, then you will still be able to restand.
Are there any card row cards that make you discard for cost otherwise? Like, just for, like, drop 1 and restand this or something? Like, I'm not entirely sure in standard or premium, for that matter.
Well, I mean, there's things like based on opponent's rear guards you restand, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then there was, like, the ace.
Yeah.
Like, there have been a lot of, like, some amount of discard restands for Kagero.
Yeah. No, I meant, like even just for, like, I don't know, a rear guard or something. I can't even... Kagero has always kind of been a blind spot for me. I've never really, like, delved into it too much, so...
Yeah. I mean, I've never been interested in Overlord, so, like, I have fleeting knowledge of Kagero. Basically, anytime Blade Master gets a new update, I'll have some vague knowledge about it.
But this Overlord has a helmet and guns and swords and 4 arms. Like, that's cool,
standard
right?
dote, to be honest.
You're right, it is standard dote. I just realized no one can see me making the face that I'm making.
Yep, nobody at all.
No, I just think Dote has a really derpy looking head. Or, not Dote specifically, Overlord in general.
What, just that kind of lizardy, like...
Yeah, like, its face is very rounded, and it has, like, the big, beady yellow eyes. I don't know, I never liked the way traditional Overlord looked. Dote looks a little better because they slap so much shit on it, it's hard to pay attention anymore.
Oh, is it like the same thing? Yeah, your eyes are kind of drawn to either the gun with the pink, like vapor trail coming off of it, or like his wings, the bright yellow.
Yeah.
You don't really look at his face very much, for sure. Yeah, but
So,
this
any
looks
other
pretty
comments
solid.
on the abilities of the card?
I have nothing. Why don't we move on to...
Spinning Valiant. So this is a grade 3 VR for Nova Grappler with the Excel gift. It has this continuous ability. Oh, it's a hero. This is important to bring up. It is, in fact, a hero.
So we're
which,
getting
like,
more
5
support
cards
for
care
that.
about.
Yeah.
It has a continuous ability that says all units can only attack the Vanguard. So in true Nova Grappler fashion, everyone now must participate. It also has an auto that when it attacks, if your front row has 4 or more units, so you just need 1 Excel circle,
and they all
everything
need to
full.
be filled, yeah.
This unit gets power plus 10,000. Then, Counterblast 4. When your opponent would call cards from his or her hand to guard circle, he or she must call 3 or more at the same time.
So less Nova, more Grappler, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so 3 cards is a fucking lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And this is the clan that introduced the Battledore skill of...
Yeah, so now PGs are 4 cards for this card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
And so, but this is also a Counterblast 4, which I think this is the first time in standard format that amount of Counterblast is needed or something.
That's so many. I do think that its continuous ability that all units can only attack the Vanguard is pretty relevant.
Why?
And that does, like, indirectly protect your rear guards, right?
Yeah, because it prevents you from getting bullied. It also means that if
They
the
can't
opponent...
deny you.
Yeah, they can't deny you, so they have to, like, kind of set you up for this.
Yep.
Yeah, but like, how are you gonna go the whole game?
Without counterblasting?
Yeah. Or
yeah.
only counterblasting like once.
Well, you have things like Boomerang Thrower who can help you, mitigate that. And that is a hero, which feeds into this. Also, this combined with Excel 2 means that, you can at least draw the cards needed to keep prosecuting your attacks. And with that first continuous skill, like Matt said, nothing's getting bullied, so unless you're playing against Narukami or something.
I think this card is... I think the continuous skill is pretty good. I think Counterblast 4 is just so much, but it does get the 10k no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think this card is just pretty... It's okay. It's much... It's like... It's not like... I don't think it's like as good as the Draconic Overlord is. I think this card is still like okay. I just have a hard time at seeing it pull Nova Grappler.
Mm-hmm. Just Counterblast 4 is a pretty ridiculously high cost.
This was a ridiculously high cost back in Ancient Vanguard.
Yeah.
But
could be worse. It could be Counterblast 4 and Soul Blast 4.
oof.
Oh, you're right.
But
Counterblast 4, Soul Blast 7.
I believe that's a Mega Blast, if we're... I don't know. I think we're kind of looking at it in a vacuum too much, and I think in practice it's going to be a lot better than we're giving it credit for.
I mean,
Maybe,
that's fair, but I will defer that kind of judgment until
we start
practice.
seeing results.
Now, against clans that can disrupt your field through effects, you're probably going to have more of an issue. Because all units can only attack the Vanguard means your units can also only attack the Vanguard. So
I mean, yeah, where else are you attacking a Nova Grappler?
Yeah, no, but like now you're giving counterblast to things like, Kagero and Narukami, and like things that can then like push
Get
back.
rid of your board.
Exactly, and then that makes it harder to prosecute. But
It's also keeping in mind that like other archetypes for Nova Grappler exist, so we have to see how this would compare to those too.
If nothing else, it seems like a decent thing to just sit on for a while. Meh.
Hard to say.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one. He's finally back, and the sample card is in English, so that's pretty cool. Harmonix Messiah has returned, so Link Joker, grade 3, 13k, Force Gift. On Vanguard Circle, when it attacks, search your deck for up to one card and put it to rear guard as a locked card and shuffle. And then the reminder text about what a locked card is. If you don't know what it is, look it up. And then on Vanguard Circle, once per turn, at the end of the battle that it attacked, if your opponent or if your soul has a grade 3 or greater card, counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Choose any number of any fighter's locked cards, unlock them, draw the same number of cards, and 2 rear guards in your front row get plus 15,000 until end of turn.
Neat.
So, quite a lot to unpack here. First off, that first skill seems rather innocuous, but you are literally just becoming lock paladins. There's no grade restriction. You're getting anything you want.
I mean, that's basically what Messiahs were by the end of G era anyways.
Yeah, but at least those were like top 4 or something. This is anywhere. At the very least, this makes it so you can run a techie-ass build and just kind of search whatever you need to search. And then that second skill requiring the grade 3 or greater means that, you're going to have to wait a turn before really going off. And then one thing to note is that it says in the reminder text, when a card is unlocked, it's standing. So if you have a way to lock cards mid-battle phase and then attack with this, you're getting multi-attacks in a Force Clan.
Well, I mean, it searches for a locked card, right? And then its second skill goes off at the end of the battle, so that's already one free card.
Yeah, no, but like even something like if a rearguard attacks, then locks itself, then does something else, then you can.
Like, I'm pretty sure they're going to have that.
It's foreshadowing, you dingus. Also, drawing the same number of cards as, unlocks is pretty freaking insane too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking about this in a premium context too, where locks are just going off like wildfire. And also the giving your things plus 15k means that even if you unlock like a grade 1, it's still hitting 23k on its own.
Yes.
So,
like we said before, multi-attacking with large numbers is always the best kind of multi-attacking.
This thing makes its own force circles and force 2 anyone. So, yeah, looking good, fellas.
Yeah. It is a tad slow because of needing the grade 3, though.
Yes,
you're
right.
At least it gives you a free +1 when it attacks, basically.
Yeah, and a trigger thin and all that good stuff. All right, it's your baby. Let's do it.
Alrighty, Dragonic Blade Master. He's back. So, grade 3, Force Gift, 13k. It has a continuous skill on Vanguard. If your opponent has no rear guards, this unit gets power plus 5,000 and critical +1. Then act on Vanguard. If Wyvern Strike Doa and Wyvern Strike Garen are on your rear guard circle, Soul Blast 1 grade 3, discard 2 cards from your hand, retire all your opponent's rear guard, and call a Vision token to rear guard circle. The Vision is a grade 3, power 13k, critical 1, and has Twin Drive.
Interesting.
and it can Twin Drive.
Yeah.
So you don't have to if you're, I don't know, if your deck's really low or something? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're always going to do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Wait, but I guess one of these, yeah. So this is cool.
This is very interesting.
This is a lot of cards. This is a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like, I appreciate the power plus 5,000 critical +1 gives it something to do, even if you don't have a grade 3 in Soul necessarily, but...
And the grade 2 guy does call the grade 1 guy, right?
Yeah, the grade 2 calls the grade 1, so if you have that, you can just build another column with a copy of itself that also twin drives on rearguard.
Huh.
So, what do you think?
I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot if you end up having to write it first, which is kind of a problem with all of these requiring a grade 3 in Soul cards. And then, because its only thing is the power plus 5,000 and crit +1, if your opponent has no rear guards, you either have to really keep up the pressure and keep your opponent's board clear so that it can be threatening, otherwise it's just kind of a dead unit until you can get that second ride.
Well, if you're going first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of forced now your opponent to call something at grade 2.
Yeah.
Despite you being Kagero. So that... Because, like, if they don't, you're just like, oh, I'm going to ride Draconic Blade Master, get my Force Gift 1, attack you for 28k crit.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, out of the gate.
So, trying to win coin flips, is what you're saying.
Yeah, man. But like if they call stuff to rear, you're like, cool. Now I'm gonna
be Kagero and retire them.
Yeah, or if you can't retire them, you can attack with your rear guards first and try to bully them out.
Yeah,
because it's a continuous. It's not like at the beginning of a combat.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I think this card's solid.
Yeah, it's a solid card. Not sure. Well, I guess there's a card you can run that we'll talk about later, but doesn't really fit too well with Overlord unless you're running the OG, which is kind of eh.
Right.
Alright, now, Wyvern Strike Doa, the grade 2 that you need for Blade Master skill. So, grade 2, 9k, auto, rearguard when placed, counterblast 1, search for up to 1 Wyvern Strike Garen, call it to rearguard circle, shuffle your deck. During the battle it attacks, if your opponent has no rear guards, your opponent cannot call normal units from his or her hand to guard circle.
Okay,
Nice.
so
They have to trigger. They have to call triggers or not guard.
Mm-hmm.
or protectives.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's nice pressure with Blade Master since you're burning their whole board anyways. It searches a copy of the Grade 1, which is incredibly important for getting that vision token.
Yeah,
I
when
think
you
a
go
9K
ahead,
is pretty rough.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Well, like against not other Force clans, you're fine, I guess.
Yeah. Also, like, you can always give it the Force Circle.
Assuming
Right.
you're using Force 1. Why don't you go ahead and read Wyvern Strike Garen just because it has to do with it?
Yeah,
real
so
quick?
during your turn, if your opponent has no rear guards, it gets power plus 5,000, and then if it boosts Wyvern Strike Doa, you can counterblast 1, draw a card, and soul charge 1.
If it hits.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, yeah, when an attack it boosted hits.
and it's a grade 1 with 8k. Okay, so, one surges the other, it makes a decent-ish column on its own.
Also, like, that soul charge could potentially net you a grade 3 early.
That's a hell of a die roll. Like, it seems like you would start running a lot of... Like, you would do, 4 Overlord, 4 Blade Master, and then 2 Waterfall, and then try and, cheese the grade 3 off of it.
Yeah, man.
That would be so hilarious if your opponent lets it hit because it's early game, you soul charge that grade 3.
I
Why
would
the
be
hell
so
not?
tilted.
Well, granted, the Blade Master still is act. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's right.
Now, if you have to write Waterfall for whatever unfortunate reason and cheese the grade 3 off of that, then
That would be hilarious.
that is going to lead to a lot of salt, and I am here for it. It is going to be amazing. Hell, running these two in, just Blade Master on its own isn't a bad idea.
But yeah, like, it was... Well, Blade Master needs to run these 2 cards because they need him for a skill, but, I think these cards are still useful for, Overlord and stuff. Oh, man, imagine this hitting and you soul charge an Overlord for Dote.
Oh, no.
Just double freestand on the first grade 3 ride. Brilliant.
So this is just a staple in... Wouldn't it suck if Garan was double R, just to make it that much more annoying to hunt down?
Yeah, it's nice that it's a rare.
One thing that's annoying about a lot of these cards where they're cheap, the sets themselves are cheap, but I haven't really thought about the implications of getting into a clan later down the line where these cards are still relevant. Especially with something like all the stuff in the Ultra Rare set, Gold Paladin, Angel Feather, and Neo Nectar, where the set's out of print, and all 3 of those clans are quite popular, and they're rather expensive just because trying to hunt down a freaking Zerakiel is annoying.
I feel like we could save this for another episode.
Yeah,
as a full topic.
Yeah, it's probably better for another day. Mr. Barber, it's your turn again.
Alrighty. So next is Ultra Beast Deity or Super Beast Deity, one of these things.
I think it's Ultra.
Illuminal Dragon.
Oh shit! Fuck yeah!
So this has 1 second. It has Shadow Stitch. Oh well, this one's not a hero, by the way. So
no hero support for you, I guess.
no, well, Beast Deities classically just aren't. What's
Yeah.
happening right now?
It is a completely different archetype.
So this has a Shadow Stitch once per turn. At the end of the battle that your rearguard attacked and does not hit, you can counterblast 1, stand that unit, and it gets power plus 10,000 until end of turn. And then you immediately attack your opponent's vanguard with that unit.
Okay, so kind of like what's his face, Azure Dragon from.
Yeah, so but it immediately double attacks.
Yeah, your rear guard. Oh, fuck! That is crazy.
So you'll be like, all right, I'm attack with my 23k Vanguard, and they're like, okay, guard it with a crit trigger or something, and you're like, okay, restand attack for 33k.
Well, it's rear guard that has to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A 23k rear guard.
Oh, I thought you said Vanguard. Sorry.
Oh no. On an Excel circle, say.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty wackadoo for sure.
So it's just pretty free extra attack there.
And that's
then
anybody.
It says when your other unit's attacks hits, this unit gets power plus 15,000 until end of turn. So this one really wants you to attack with your rear guards first for the most part. So let's say you're playing with Excel 2, you call a rear to Excel 2, you say, okay, I'm going to attack Vanguard for 14. They're like, all right, guard, and you're like, counterblast 1, restand 24. And if they take either of those, it's going to give a Luminal Dragon 15k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this works on rear guard too, so if you happen to have an Illuminal on rear guard, it can also gain that power.
Yep, and it's just looking for one hit before you kind of want to start attacking with your Vanguard after that.
One pump, one cream. This looks like this in the original Azure Dragon. Holy shit, that's a solid grade 3 lineup. You have you have your both things are solid rides. One of them is a really good rear guard. Like, why the hell not? I don't know if that's going to matter in premium. Like if
I mean,
you don't really have
Beast Deity strides are pretty whatever.
There's one Beast Deity stride.
It was played just to flip over a card for no reason.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
But yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is my favorite name in anything ever, and my name is Atlas. Card? Yes.
So the next card name is Kick Typhoon.
I need like a bomb sound effect or something to like convey how fucking awesome this is.
Grade 2 9k RRR, and it has two abilities. The first is an auto when placed. If this unit is on a Vanguard Circle or an additional Rearguard Circle, one of your units gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn.
That shit's free.
And then it has an auto on Rearguard Circle only. When it attacks, if all of your front row rearguards, when it attacks, if all of your front row rearguard circles have a rearguard in them, you can counterblast one and stand one of your other rearguards.
Pretty
this
damn
card
solid.
is just actually great.
Yeah. Holy
Fill
shit.
Your front, and this is going to be this is especially good with Excel 2, being able to keep redrawing cards and making sure that you can fill your front row rearguard circle. This card is quite good.
This thing is hilarious on turn 2 also.
But notice that this card is like probably going to be a staple in Nova decks.
Yeah.
But requires a counterblast, which makes the card we looked at first less likely to be used.
Yes.
Spinning Valiant. Just because like all of these tiny counterblast costs do hinder you from using something like a counterblast for.
Well, also this isn't a hero, so I think that is probably by design. Maybe
he doesn't care about being a hero necessarily.
Yeah,
that's true. Kick Typhoon, great fucking name. I love
it
this
is pretty
thing.
good.
Yeah. All right, Lady Battler of the Gravity Well. So if we remember from the olden days, and by that I mean G-Era, she was just you locked one of your rear guards and she got 4K. So new Lady Battler is a 10K grade 2. On rear guard circle, when it attacks, you can Soul Blast one and discard a card from your hand. Look at the top card of your deck and put it on rear as a locked card, and draw a card.
Man, Gold Paladins.
Right.
So you get to cycle a card out of your hand, and you Soul Blast one to call a card.
Yes.
Locked.
Neat. Now, again, as we said before, if this is before your grade 3 ride or on the first grade 3 ride, you're not really doing much. But it's still a free, it's a card on board, which is nice. Although
even if you're like missing a grade 3 in your hand, calling this at 2 just to kind of cycle out a card to look for a grade 3 is like pretty big.
Yeah. It's a good looking card. There's also Sunset Edge Duskblade, which screw Captain America. This thing has America's ass. This guy has a real tight butt. It's an 8K grade 1.
Please.
You know I'm right. On rear guard circle, when the attack is boosted hits a Vanguard, you counterblast one, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and bind it face down. If your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, draw a card. Not bad. Pretty solid.
And it seems like they're very dedicated to not locking your opponent's cards.
I'm okay with this.
As am I.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll start happening eventually when the power creep gets too insane again, but for now, they're not doing it.
Yeah, probably just to... Lock was a... That's a rant that I don't need to get into right now. But I don't know why this thing is triple R. It seems like a very straightforward effect that doesn't really belong there, I guess. I don't know. It just seems rather underpowered for what the rarity is.
I guess because it was the Amber clone back in the day, so it's iconic.
Sure. I mean, Gravity Well wasn't, and she was a rare, so that's not...
That's true.
That doesn't mean anything, necessarily.
All right.
So,
what's the next one?
Shine Bardiche Dragon. So, auto, Vanguard, Rearguard, when placed, Soul Blast 1, check top 7, reveal a Blade Master from among them, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn.
Hey, there's the rest of your grade 3 lineup.
Yeah. And it is a grade 3, Force Gift, 13k.
That's
pretty simple skill.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't actually want to ride this, but...
Well, I mean, the idea is if you misride, you still get the correction, possibly. Mm-hmm. And he's also a grade 3, so you can just...
Yeah, run it rear guard.
Yeah, stick it on rear.
Right, Wyvern Strike Decot. So...
We're just moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say about it, really.
No, there's not.
The other one searches Blade Master. Cool. So, Wyvern Strike Decot. So, grade 2, 9k, act, rearguard circle, counterblast 1, put it in your soul. Choose one of your Dragonic Overlord the end, and when your opponent would call cards from hand to guard circle, for the battles that the unit attacks this turn, he or she must call 2 or more at the same time.
Sweet, Battledore
Make
skill.
him need 6 cards, at least.
Yeah.
And this is and this adds more soul for if you run the original Dragonic Overlord for that plus 10k. I don't know, looks pretty good. You lose the card before attacking with it, which can be a downside.
Also, it only works on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have like the original
like.
on the rear, yeah, it would be nice if it was just Overlord. Although imagine the fuckery with like it and the Great.
Yeah, so whatever.
That's the idea. God. Imagine just making a deck with every Overlord in it.
I guarantee you, there is going to be someone like that at your locals. It maybe not you or you, but definitely you. Whatever 3 people happen to be sharing a pair of speakers at the same time. Let's see, who's next?
I think there's one more Kagura
Still
thing.
you, yeah.
Red Dive Griffin. So, it is a grade 1, 8k, auto rearguard once per turn. When your opponent's guardian is placed for the battle, it boosted a Vanguard, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of those guardians, retire it, and at the end of the battle, retire this unit.
So you can just make the opponent be like, no, I don't like that. Get that, go away. Get out of here.
And it still doesn't work on perfect guards.
But you could also not do it.
Yeah.
Make your opponent overguard.
Well, because guardians are technically one at a time, it's not...
Yeah, then you just like put the last one, you're like, are you going to do it? And you're like, nah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like doesn't actually do what you want it to do. Mm-hmm. Also wish it drew a card or something, or did, I don't know.
Or like put itself into soul instead of just dying.
Yeah. Cards, whatever.
I don't think it's going to do much. Looks nice, though.
Yep. All right. Gladgrat. So it is a grade 3 Excel gift D-Dude, double R. Auto, when it attacks, if you on Vanguard Circle only. When it attacks, if you have 2 or more rested rear guards, you can counterblast 1 and soul blast 1. This unit gets power plus 10,000 till end of turn. And if you have 5 or more rested rear guards, stand 2 of your front row rear guards. So this is like a discount Perfectorizer. Assuming you have 5 rear guards laying around.
Which, that's not very likely, necessarily.
I mean, I think you'll have 5 a decent percentage of the time. Also, the fact that it's only counterblast 1, soul blast 1 is fine.
Yeah.
It's getting some power. It's standing some rear guards. Probably going to prioritize standing the rear guards on the Excel circles. I don't know.
Seems fine to me.
I don't think... hopefully you don't have to play this card, but...
Yeah.
It's a double R. It seems like a nice budget option.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Some more beast deities in here, though.
Store.
Eclair Dragon. Hungry.
Me too.
Yeah, right.
So this is grade 2 9k. When placed during your main phase, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Beast Deity in its card name, you can counterblast 1, discard a card. This unit gets power plus 3,000 till end of turn, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with it. If the attack did not hit, stand this unit. So you immediately, during your main phase, attack with a unit at your Vanguard, at your opponent's Vanguard. And if they guard it, or it doesn't hit for some reason, you restand it.
So I believe the, place during the main phase is so you can't cheese it with Azure Dragon. because
Yeah, that'd be great.
Imagine the fuckery.
Let's do it.
But this thing looks really, really solid, and
But it's also only getting to 12k, so it's not hitting against a lot of force cleanse.
Yeah.
You'd have to put it on the Excel circle.
Yeah, if you go first though, this is pretty rude.
Yeah.
Oh,
But if you put it on the Excel circle, yeah, this is like 17k your Vanguard, and they're like 5k. You're like, cool, I'll try it again later.
Guard, I'll be back. Give me 1 second.
So it's counterblast 1, discard a card. Your opponent also discards a card.
Or
Yeah.
takes a damage. Yeah.
or just takes a damage.
Yeah, or just takes a damage, whichever.
I love when we boil down these effects like this, where people are like, it doesn't seem that good. I'm like, well, just think about it this way. It's either discard a card or take a damage.
It feels really bad to take like a 17k attack though.
Yes,
Especially
it does.
like when you're looking at grade 2s in your hand, like, man, I could just guard with this. Or I could take a damage and get a trigger, then you don't get a trigger inevitably.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I always envied the whole Paladin clan thing for, because you're like, what the fuck do I care? It's coming from somewhere else, you know?
Yeah, right?
Versus, like, any clan that has to make its board from its hand, you're like, this is painful, you know? Or, yeah.
Too much. Alrighty, so we also have Beast Deity Grant's Dragon. This is a grade 1, 8k, double R. Once per turn, when your other unit attacks, if you have a grade 3 Vanguard with Beast Deity in its card name, you can Soul Blast 1 and stand this unit.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
Card's just good.
Neat.
Yeah.
Grade 1 that stands itself for no reason.
I mean, if you boost with it, you can just immediately activate the effect, which is cool.
You can also do that.
Yeah.
Or you could throw this piece of shit on an Excel circle.
Yep, you can do that too. There are many ways to kill the opponent with this.
Imagine just poking your opponent for 13k with this if you use Excel 2.
Yeah. I am not looking forward to this. This is going to be. The worst part is, like, one of my friends, shout out to Raph from Toy Mandala, but he's building this, and I can kind of see the glint in his eye as he's like reading all the effects of these cards. He's like, I can't wait. I'm like,
Yeah.
you were annoying enough with Murakuma. Now I got to deal with this every week. This is going to be fun.
Also, this card looks cool.
Oh yeah, no, it looks fucking awesome. I'm not really sure what's up with that background though, but looks like I don't know. It looks like it's sitting on top of like a jewel, or barren landscape, whatever. Doesn't matter.
It's probably in space.
Yes, because Nova Grappler. All right, Obstruction Claw, Ghastly Nail. So grade 3, 13k. Force Gift for Link Joker. So on Vanner Rear, during your turn, this unit gets plus 5k for each of your locked cards. Neat, free. And then on Vanner Rear, when it attacks, Soul Blast 1, and you may put a card from your hand onto your rear guard as a locked card. If you put a card, draw a card. Awesome.
Neat.
I love this thing. Cycles and works on both van and rear, and is a decent first ride. Cool. Moving
That's
on. Blast Mount of the Thundering Foot. So, grade 2, 10k. On Vanner Rear, when it attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and bind it face down. If you chose a grade 2 or greater, soul charge 1.
Neat.
So, fuck it.
Neat.
Just, yeah. This is the new Amber clone, kind of.
Yeah.
Just hit a grade 3 and soul with it. Easy.
Yeah. I think we're giving too much credence to the whole cheese, but
Oh, but I really want a cheese.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We just really want it to happen.
He wants the cheese so bad. He's like a... Yeah. All right, and then the last double R for the set, Destiny Dealer. So this was the Stride Fodder before. But now the skill is on Vanguard. When placed, you put the top card of your deck on rear as a locked card for free. So ride, draw, top card is locked. Cool. And then act on rear guard circle. Once per turn, you can Soul Blast and look at the top card of your deck and put it on your rear guard as a locked card. So hooray, more field building. It's the locked paladins.
Well, this card's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking solid. The fact that the second skill is the first skill, but with a cost on rear.
Also, you get to repeat it if it stays alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
That's, I mean, it's a grade 1. You can put it in the back.
You're a grade 1.
Thanks. I'm going to take that as it sounding like you said grade 1. So I am Wayne Gretzky.
X.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty solid. I don't know how that's gonna track in premium, where you're like, I kind of want stride fodders more than I want, whatever it is. But yeah, so that was the end of the double R's, which means now we're at the point where we pick out any commons or rares that we think gives the set more context. Or yeah, go for it.
Farmed Gaius. This is, I think, the first card that they've printed with not one critical.
Oh, yeah.
It has straight 2 critical printed on the card.
It's 3,000 power.
Yeah, it only has 3,000 power.
At least it's got intercept and 5k shield.
And no other abilities. Yeah, it has no card text. But this is hilarious.
I think this is the first time they've done this, right?
This is the kind of nonsense we need in this game.
Oh boy. Like what?
Yeah, actual 2 critical. I was wondering, since I started playing this game at like GBT 07 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if they'd ever print like more than 1 critical on a card, and now I've finally seen it.
That's definitely a thing.
There was a card with 0 crits before too.
It's the Bermuda one, the one that
yeah.
Or that's got 0 power. Sorry, not crits.
Oh yeah, that was 0 power.
Said it didn't have a crit printed on it.
I'm
and the
sure.
original extra booster.
I don't know. This one I kind of want to bring up just because this seems to be the start of a trend. So everybody in the set is getting another kind of perfect guard. So it's a grade 1, 7k with the Sentinel ability. On guard circle, 1 place, discard a card, blah, PG skill. The other skill is on Vanguard circle, 1 place, draw a card, and discard a card. So
well, they're also introducing 3rd crits for every clan now.
Oh no. Not again. Is that... Wait, Angry Horn Dragon... Oh yeah, you're right. Angry Horn Dragon. There's the...
Yeah, so now you just play 12 crit, easy. Got him.
It really did take them a while. That's...
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are still going to play 8 crit 4 draw anyways because
Draw
the
PG?
extra grade 1 space is just too valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, because Advantage is a bit slower in premium format, a lot of clans appreciate the draw triggers anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, Xeno Dragon was Link Jokers. Good looking stuff. Let's see. Root Beer, do you have any?
I mean, I have a funny card. Lava Blast Dragon is a grade 3 force gift. On rearguard circle at the end of the battle and attack the Vanguard, you can put a Dragon Knight Fahim and Dragon Knight Nasser from rearguard into soul, stand this unit, and it gets power plus 15,000 until end of turn.
That is really cheesy. And very specific.
Yes.
Let's see. Dragon Knight Fahim is grade 2, 10k during your turn. If you have a grade 3 rearguard, it gets plus 10k. And then what's the other one? Dragon Knight Nasser.
When placed, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Soul Blast 1, check top 7 for a grade 3, and shuffle. And call one of them.
Yeah. Man, that's like oddly synergistic. Like those work very well together.
Alright, but check this out, guys.
Oh no.
Have you guys read the card Spin Kid?
No.
This card
No.
is some absolute nonsense also. It's a grade 1 8k, and its only effect is when ridden from a grade 0, you can reveal the VR Spinning Valiant from your hand, and if you do, you deal 1 damage to your opponent's Vanguard. Oh, to your and your opponent's Vanguard.
What the fucking fuck?
Like that other grade 1 that could attack on the first turn.
It is just like the most bizarre nonsense. I love it.
That's not even like a cost. That's just
You just reveal it, and you and your opponent both take a damage. Yeah.
that is going to be a hell of a.
But you have to have it as your grade 1 ride, and immediately have a Spinning Valiant already in your hand.
Yeah.
It seems
Absolutely amazing.
It seems like the rest of these heroes are good, like Girly Dolly and Savannah Wild.
I mean, I guess, but man, it's so silly.
Stylish Hustler. Where are they getting these names? This is like
They're literally just like randomly generating these names. I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't be surprised by that. All right, here's a good one. So, Remarkable Burst Monk, which I get the feeling this was like the placeholder name, and they forgot to give it a name. They're like Remarkable Burst Monk of the what to call? Oh fuck! It already went to print. Damn it. Okay. On rear, grade 2, 10K. On rear when it is unlocked. Counterblast 1, reveal the top card of your deck and put it into your hand, and if it is a grade 3, then you can discard 2 cards from your hand and stand your Vanguard. So, if you manage to, like, if this is on your board and...
Can I have this in OTT? Thanks.
Hell, I like the idea of, like, let's say you don't have a way to unlock this in battle phase, like you ride Harmonics first and haven't gotten the second still off yet, and then at the end of your turn this thing's unlocked, and then you stand your Vanguard at the end of the turn, so then, like, you just say fuck you to Murakumo for no reason. Alright, I end my turn, but I was gonna stun your Vanguard. You're like, well, you're welcome to, but it's already standing, so...
Have fun.
Have fun, I guess. So, Remarkable Burst Monk indeed. I find it pretty cheese. There's so much cheese in this set. Just
This set is wacky, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a Benny Hill show of a set. Calderon Wing is another one. So, if Harmonics Messiah is on your van or rearguard circle, or if you have a locked card, you can Soul Blast 1 and lock this unit and countercharge.
Cool.
Not bad. Good stuff.
So I suppose we should talk about Stylish Hustler just for a little bit.
Yes.
It's another grade 2 Nova Grappler card. It's a rare. It has a skill on Vanguard Circle and Rearguard Circle that when your other rearguard is retired by an ability of your opponent's card, you can Soul Blast 1 to return one of those cards to your hand. So
nice.
if they like 5 of them, you can Soul Blast 1 and get one of them back. And then it has an ability of when it attacks, it gets power plus 3,000 for each card in your damage zone until end of turn.
This
nice.
is really, really good.
Until end of that battle, sorry.
Well, still.
Yeah, so it's like, can protect some rear guards in like a vague way.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have to kind of, and it is a hero if you care about that keyword. But you can also, just kind of protect some cards early on. Not bad.
Well, not just that, but like...
But it has to be retired by an ability of opponent's card, so it's not going to work all the time.
Yeah. Now, if you're running if you're doing the Spinning Valiant deck, that's perfect, because that's the way to protect your stuff from removal.
Yep.
Unless you're Narukami or Link Joker.
Yeah.
Who's just
or your opponent decides to just attack your... Oh.
No, Spinning Valiant.
Yeah,
if you're Spinning Valiant, they literally cannot,
Yeah.
How would that work with in Premium when your opponent has cards that can attack all your rear guards?
So they actually did the ruling about this. Like, what happens if my opponent rides Exculpate and would attack my whole board? No, they have to attack the Vanguard and only the Vanguard.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's nice.
If they have some kind of brawler skill or they try and do Vermilion or something, it's just not gonna fly, unfortunately.
Yeah, it says it's so basically a way to read the skill is your opponent cannot attack, like players cannot attack rear guards.
All right.
So that means that those skills would just attack everything they can, which is only the Vanguard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is neat. It's just unfortunate it doesn't work on all kinds of removal.
Yeah. But I mean, every deck's got to have a weakness, right?
Yeah.
It's good, but it doesn't seem unfair necessarily. What?
Does every deck need to have a weakness?
Yes.
That would be nice, but...
Would be nice.
Just because it needs to doesn't mean it happens. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Also, I have a card that's kind of interesting.
Go for it.
But Dragon Knight Zarina, so... It is a grade 2, 10k, auto rearguard once per turn. When your opponent's rearguard is retired due to the effect of your Vanguard, Soul Blast 2, choose up to one grade 1 or lower card from your drop zone. Call it to rearguard circle in the same column as this unit.
Bushiroad, stop giving Grand Blue cards to other clans. It's really starting to piss me off.
Do it more.
I can't believe this is a common. This is great.
Yeah.
And there's like a moderate soul engine now. This is this is really good. Almost broken common club, maybe.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah, I guess we will.
Can we also talk about the Vision token?
Yes, we can talk about the Vision token. What do you want to know about the Vision token?
It looks sweet.
It does look pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's
It
Blade
also
Master,
says-
who already looks sweet, but now it's all glowy and ethereal.
It also tells you that it has a continuous effect on rearguard circle that you perform drive checks for it.
Yeah. I mean, that is very important because your opponent is going to try to rule shark you otherwise.
Oh, of course.
Almost always.
I guarantee you there's also going to be the, but they didn't say it was twin drive. I'm like, it's in the goddamn top left-hand corner of the card.
Then you
Yeah.
question if your opponent can actually read. And the
Yeah.
answer is obviously no, but you
I mean-
ask anyway.
Both, like, this card has the twin drive symbol, and Blade Master itself says that the Vision token can twin drive.
I am wearing a T-shirt right now that says #reading is hard on the back of it, so we all know what that's like.
I am not wearing a t-shirt right now that says anything.
I don't think he's wearing a T-shirt at all, but I can't tell for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
The accusations.
might be a sweater.
I
All right.
mean, unless we put face cams on, there's no way of knowing if we're clothed at all.
That's for episode 200.
Pants optional.
I mean, no one can tell for sure, right? So two more I wanted to bring up. So, Blow Monk of the Twin Feet, this unfortunately named card, is a grade 1 8K with the intercept ability instead of boost
Wait.
for Link Joker.
What?
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
grade 1, 8K, 10K shield, has intercept instead of boost.
All right. I think it's really funny that they feel the need to tell you that it has intercept, so you actually have to look.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you I
Because
wouldn't
if they
have
just
seen
put
it.
no text and just put the intercept symbol up there, I never would have noticed.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised that we noticed the 2 crit 3K earlier.
Well, it has 3K power, so you're like, wait a second, what's going on with this card? It has 3K power and no text.
Yeah.
So you have to be like, what?
I mean, I guess that happens with like the 7K guys with the 15K shield where you're like, there's no... What's going on here? So then you start looking around the card for, oh, there's the 15K
Right.
shield. But yeah, it's nice that they put reminder text, I guess. So this is great in Messiah, because you grab this from deck, cool. And then if it's in the front row, it's not that big of a deal. You can just intercept it away later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looking good. And then the other one was Black Star of Augmentation Veil Rouser. So 8K, grade 1, on rear when your locked card is put. So that means if it's placed from deck or when you lock a card. So that's putting. And or when your card is locked. This unit gets plus 5K until end of turn.
Cool.
They made like a what's his name? Gaius? Not Gaius. Whatever the Kagero thing is that gets 5K when you retire something. It's like that. It's pretty solid. Good shit. All right. Any other comments or rares we want to bring up?
No, I pretty much read all mine.
Yeah, same.
Alrighty then. So this brings us to near the end of the episode, which begs the question: who wins?
Kagero.
Yeah, I think Kagero has... Like, Nova Grappler looks like it could be sleeper OP with the Beast Deity stuff.
That was
I
going to
think
be my submission. Actually, was going to
Yeah,
be Nova
like,
Grappler.
I think Kagero is the most obviously strong and has 2 pretty good builds with Blade Master and Dote.
I think it's Kagero, and I don't know. I don't think it's that close. I think the Kagero cards are just really good.
Yeah.
Well,
like-
okay, so let's look at the position Nova Grappler was in before this.
Oh, I'm not talking about how much they've improved. I do think these Nova Grappler cards are pretty decent.
10,000%
improvements
better than the
over-
originals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
say their first wave of support. I'm just saying that I think the Kagero is going to be the best deck of these 3 after this set.
Like, I think Beast Deities are going to be a sleeper deck for a bit, but they'll probably start popping up after a while.
They really do. It really does look solid. I think the Messiah stuff looks medium plus in standard, but it probably isn't.
Messiah
gonna do
looks
anything
like
crazy.
it's just going to be another paladin. Like, it has multi-attacking at least, but it looks like it's probably going to be like paladin tier.
Yeah. Now in premium, where there was already that Messiah deleter deck, now you have, Messiah.
You have pure messiahs.
Yeah, you have like infrastructure for it, which I think is gonna. We'll have to see. I'll play against my friend Vince and get back to you guys on this because he's doing it. But yeah. So by that logic, does that mean Messiah loses this set?
I mean, I don't even think it's that close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it. None of them seem like they sucked. Like all of them,
None of them seem bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
all of it seemed like good shit.
Yeah, this is a very solid set.
Like this reminds me of the ultra rare set where all three clans got good stuff for the most part. I mean, like the Gold Paladin stuff wasn't great to begin with, but it got improved later. But the Neo Nectar and Angel Feather stuff is like they're still being carried to this day. So, I don't know how this is going to stand up to scrutiny later, but I also think that the advent of the Gift 2 system makes, like, especially for the hero stuff, makes it a lot better because now you can draw cards and make your boards that you need to make because a lot of these Nova cards want like full front rows to do stuff.
Right.
Yeah, I also like that. So that they're doing the the shiny gift twos, where like it comes one per case, and they're doing like a sideways thing. And I really like the Miwa one, and I want to get a Miwa one because he's a derpy little fucker. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of the episode. Where can people find you guys out there in the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs, 2Zs.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
And Plasma Eclipse does anime drawings.
Yes, I do.
Better than we ever could because I don't draw. Yeah, you can find me personally at Atlas Novak out there on Twitter. Or if you're in the LA area, next week on May 23rd, I will be at the Hollywood Improv doing stand-up comedy. I guarantee you it's better than any of the conversations we have here because I am the least funny person on this podcast, and that's an objective fact. But yeah, I'll be there on something called the Myha Show, so if you go on the Hollywood Improv's website, go get tickets if you want. Come see me. Come say hi. Otherwise, you can also find this podcast at Nexus at Night on Twitter or Instagram or the Nexus Core YouTube channel. So, that was it. Until next time, I'm Atlas.
So, Matt.
I'm Root Beer.
And have a good night, everybody.